morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the snow, welcome back to Austria, and welcome back to a car I've already featured on this channel, but now it is time to check out the facelift of the SQ7 TDI, the V8 diesel monster with 900 Newton meters of torque, plenty of space, a gigantic amount of comfort features, and so many new cool details I have to show you. And we are starting with the exterior, then into the interior, and then it is time to take it here on a proper drive. The first thing I want to mention is this is a diesel. It has 435 horsepower, and to me this is the more clever, the more efficient, the more sensible version of an RS6 to get as a powerful daily. Let's find out what this car is all about. So let's start with the exterior of the facelifted Q7 SQ7 2020. And the first thing you definitely notice is what on earth? These headlights, the new digital design language, which says digital in terms of 101010, so how our computers are calculating. And I really like this design, but let me know in the comments what you think about it. And then, as you can see over here, this blue thing is actually a laser. So this car is equipped with the Audi laser light. There are just a few cars which actually have it. The Audi R8 has it, the Audi A8 has it, and the A7 and the RS6, the RS7 of course, and now also the Q7 and SQ7, not even the Q8, which is a little bit disappointing, but this is one feature of many where I say the Q7 is definitely, after the A8, the most luxurious Audi you can get. And now check out this new redesigned grille at the front, saying SQ7 over here. Of course, these gigantic sensors here for the adaptive cruise control, for all the assistants, they are still ugly, but with the all black package it is more or less okay, I would say. This car would definitely need black rings for my personal taste, but all in all, just look at how aggressive this car is. Oh my god, what a beast, isn't it? As we come around the side of the car, you will notice, oh, there are new redesigned rims for the SQ7. This exact design is also available on the RS5 and the RS4, but here we do have them in 22-inch and actually on winter tires to fit the conditions here properly. We do have a gigantic brake, of course, with red brake calipers saying S because this is an S model. And then as we come around the side here, one little detail I really love about the Q7 is that it says Quattro over here. This is just the little things make a car special. And speaking of lights, let's check out the back. And I have to say, this turned out absolutely brilliant, because the current generation, the pre-facelift of the Q7 and the SQ7 wasn't really my taste. But now with the digital lighting over here, just look at it, how cool, how aggressive. It's simply the perfect combination of minimalism and emotion. And as we come around here, we do have probably the biggest downgrade we've ever had. First of all, okay, we do have now round exhaust pipes, which is new at the SQ7, but not just round. There is just one exhaust pipe each, which is actually real. I'm not really complaining. Why I'm not complaining? Because this is a diesel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not necessary for this car to have a proper exhaust. Or what do you think about it? Tell me in the comments. But this is the exterior of the car. The car is here in the color Daytona gray. There is just one thing at the exterior which I don't like, that Audi made this bar. Not that they made this bar, but that you can't get this bar in black. with the black optics package the car obviously has. As you can see over here, also around the windows, as you can see. But why Audi? Why is this in something like an aluminum satin? This is supposed to be black. Then the rings also in black, the SQ7 logo in black, and then maybe even the exhaust pipes in black. And then just imagine of how aggressive this car would look from the back. So I would say this is it from the exterior, but now let's check out the amazing new interior, because Audi did not just make a normal facelift and updated the MMI or something. They put a completely new level, new year of infotainment and actually interior into this car. So welcome at the current Audi interior of the A6, the A7, actually also the Q8 and the A8, and they just put that with a facelift in this car. And there I have to say big props Audi, because this is nothing we are used to. This is truly special. So let's have a proper look at the new interior. And first of all, I want to tell you and show you about this beautiful panel full of carbonara, as I'm used to call it. What a beautiful piece. And then we do have the gray design package in here. Unfortunately, this is not in real leather, but everything else, just look at all the buttons, how well they are made, how good they feel when you touch them. We do still have the Bose sound system in the SQ7. When I got this right, Audi cancelled the cooperation with Bose, but of course this is just a facelift and it wouldn't make sense to develop a new, more or less standard sound system together with Bang & Olufsen. So this is definitely the last generation Q7 SQ7 with a Bose sound system. But now we are talking. Just look at these new redesigned sports seats with diamond stitching in gray. And actually, unfortunately we don't have it in this very exact car, but we have the possibility to order seat cooling and massage function in these S sports seats. And I have to say, the Q7 and the SQ7 is the car where I have the best seating comfort in every Audi I've ever driven. This is the best seat I've ever sat in, and I have just to say big props to Audi, because you've actually really nailed it in that terms. So let's close the door because it is freezing cold out there, and focus on the new interior infotainment. And here we have to say we have the new Virtual Cockpit Plus, as it is called. And here you can see the S layout. You can actually change this, and here we have the new MMI system, as you can see, at here, and then we go here, and then we can actually change it from S performance to sport. Sport is actually not the sportiest version, I think, and then we have it like that, which is also quite nice. Definitely you have the navigation system here. You can make it bigger or a little bit smaller. Then don't judge this. This is not really true. We will speak about the fuel consumption later on, but I definitely prefer the S performance version, because this just looks so much more science fiction, doesn't it? Tell me in the comments what you would choose and what you think about this new design. But basically we do have the completely new designed infotainment here, the new MMI screen with the haptic feedback, which is really nice. Then over here you can pretty much set up everything just by touch, no buttons anymore. And also I really like this, where you can actually put your seats in the right direction. There are so many opportunities, and also you can choose where the seat heating has the most focus on. And I would say, especially for men, this is very good if you just make it on your back and not down there. You will know why. But I've said the Q7 is, after the A8, the most luxurious Audi you can get. And one major reason for that is that you can get the optional leather package, and this is actually leather, and it is smooth, and it feels fantastic. And for example, at the new RS6, this is also more or less looks like the same, but it is way cheaper. And this is why I just say the SQ7, you get more for your money, and especially more luxury, more comfort at the interior. And this car is meant to be the ultimate mile hunter, and it is super strong. You can trailer pretty much everything with this car. And once again, I have to show you these amazing pieces of carbon fiber. Wow, wow, wow. Also down here, this just feels so incredibly good. I really like it. The only thing which is more or less old, except these buttons here, is the steering wheel. And the one thing at the interior where I really say, Audi, this is not a good job, because you made so epic things in here, but why are these buttons in something like plastic satin? This could be piano black. Of course, then it would get dirtier way quicker, but it gives you just a more luxurious feeling. And also this cap over here, this is supposed to be also in leather like this, also with stitching around. It just gives you a way cooler and better and more luxurious feeling, to be honest. Yeah. And then also what has changed is that we do have a completely digital panel here to choose your lights, and actually also the laser light, which we are also of course going to test in this video. So let's have a look at the back seats, and just once again look at these gorgeous seats over here. Don't they just look amazing for an SUV? This is not normal, and once again big props Audi. But you have here for the rear passengers a completely digital panel to get their seat heating on and their general cooling back here, and then also this diamond stitching seats over here. And then a really cool thing about the Q7 is that Q7 not just means Q7, that also you can have this car as a 7-seater, which this car is equipped for. So also for big, maybe patchwork families, definitely the car to go and put your kids back there, and they are super safe. Yeah, talking about an SUV, you definitely also have to share what is in the back and how much space do you have. And I think you can't get that super full. And maybe just imagine going with your kids on a ski holiday. You put the roof box on there, put the skis in there. You have so much space. This is incredible. And then also this panel over here where you can electrically fold up and down the seats which are under here. Yeah, and actually also for trailering. And then also you can put the adaptive air suspension, so the back of the car, up or down. So also back there in the trunk, this is definitely as luxurious as it can get, as an Audi can get. Definitely the best package. One thing I just wanted to show you also is just look at how deep the car is. This is stock, yeah, and I have it in dynamic mode, and yeah, I'm really impressed of how deep it is. So what is a V8 diesel like to drive, and can a diesel engine actually make fun, and does it make sense to call an S model a diesel? So let me answer the last question I asked you. Does a diesel S model make sense? And I would say as an SUV and as a car which is supposed to be a mile hunter, as I always call it. So a car where you really put a lot of miles on it, where you can go 1000 kilometers one way, you're super chilled, and the most important thing, your wallet is super chilled, because I have now a reach of 700 kilometers with one full tank of fuel, and the average fuel consumption here is about, I would say, 12 liters at the moment. So theoretically, we should get on a mileage of 1000 kilometers with one tank. And remember, we do have 435 horsepower and 900 Newton meters. And I would say for cars which are that heavy, for cars which are meant to be luxurious and get from A to B as comfortable, as luxurious, as fast as possible as it can get. And as a daily driver, diesels in S models, for me personally, definitely make sense. Also in the S4, also in the S5, also in the S6, S7, the SQ5 TDI is also back, and of course the SQ8 has the very exact engine as the SQ7. But what is it like to drive? That's what we are going to find out now. So how do you put emotion into a car with a diesel engine as a manufacturer? And yeah, the easiest way to do this is with something like a sound generator. Yeah, let's say basically we do have a V8. A V8 generally always sounds, let's say, powerful. Not crazy, not super loud, but at least powerful. And this is exactly the case here. So now I was in the dynamic mode, so with the sound generator on, and now I put the car into comfort mode where the sound generator is off. And now, listen. Okay, you more or less think, yeah, okay, this is a powerful engine. You not really would notice that it is actually a V8, but ladies and gentlemen, it is about the power. You know that you're driving a V8, and then when you come to the fuel station, you are just laughing at everyone else who is, for example, driving an RS6 and needs a fuel station every 400 kilometers, puts 100 euros of fuel in it, and then drives once again 400 kilometers, and you just drive 1000 kilometers more or less as fast, and you're super chilled. So let's put the SQ7 back into dynamic mode, and then I would say put in the gear. We are in S1 dynamic, and off we go. Let's make a little slides down here. Nice. And off we go, ladies and gentlemen. So the car is of course equipped with the new Audi all-wheel steering. What does that bring you? So actually I think the best thing with the all-wheel steering is that you don't have to worry about getting into parking garages, getting into parking spots actually with this kind of heavy cars. I've already been in a shopping mall yesterday with this car, and I can tell you I had a lot of respect, but it turned out to be so incredibly easy. I was very surprised. Next thing with the all-wheel steering is the overall feeling in corners. When you drive into really tight corners, it's incredible. You wouldn't believe that you're sitting in an SUV that is almost 2.5 tons heavy. I have to say, I drove the new RS6 a week ago, and on very high speeds, when you push the car really hard, the all-wheel steering could more or less influence your drive style and the safety you feel when driving. But this is just when you drive it more on the limit than pretty much every customer would ever do. It just is incredible, the power delivery of this car, the 900 Newton meters of torque. I mean, a Bugatti Chiron has 1500 Newton meters of torque. So this is just 600 Newton meters more than this car. Just, yeah? But imagine that. And then RS6 has just 800 Newton meters of torque. Of course, the power delivery is a completely different because it is a other type of engine. But as a daily driver, you don't need more than this. Definitely not. And then you have all of the comfort features. For example, these seats, they aren't available in the RS6. So I will definitely go for these seats with massage function, with seat cooling, and they look super sporty and they feel incredible. I have so much, it is just amazing in these seats. Of course, I have to say, we are driving a huge SUV. So do you expect it to drive like a sports car? No. Does it have to? No. But we do have the active roll stabilization with this car also. And so all in all, I have to say, for an SUV this size, and of course with the power and everything, how this feels in corners, this is unreal. You wouldn't believe that. I would more or less pretty much drive the same amount of the same speed with my S3 in this corner, and this has a completely other center of gravitation. So it is phenomenal what all of the technical developments over the last years made to cars like this. They are super usable, they are super sporty. This car is sportier than other SUVs or even advanced like the A6 or so years ago. This one is way sportier, and so you shouldn't complain about. Also the feeling of the steering. Of course, this is not a sports car. It is not supposed to feel every single little imperfection of the road, but you feel a lot, and I'm impressed by how much you feel. And I have personally the impression that S models, I don't know why, give me more feedback in the steering than RS models at Audi, which is pretty weird, isn't it? Now my plan is to go to Tegernsee, then to Munich, then to Ingolstadt, then from Ingolstadt back to Munich, then to Tegernsee, and then back to Salzburg. So approximately about 500 to 600, maybe 700 kilometers, depends on the ways between. And I think after 700 kilometers of driving this beast, I will get back to you, and then I will give you a proper impression of what I felt, what I've experienced with this car, because all of the car tests, all of the press drives out there on this world, now the journalists get 2 hours in these cars, maybe one day. Yeah, this is more, but in this one day they drive more or less 100 kilometers, 150 kilometers. This is not that much, and I want to get into the cars. I want to get the feeling of living with them, and then I can tell you guys what I really think about them, and what are the pros, what are the cons. But I think I won't find a lot of cons here, because this is just a perfect car for me personally. Of course I try to be very objective, but I simply love this thing. So I'll get back to you once I've driven more than 600 kilometers with this V8 diesel beast. So ladies and gentlemen, after 50 kilometers I have to share this with you, because I'm now driving 140 just on the Autobahn. But what a responsive feeling you have, but at the same time how cloudy you drive. And then this acceleration, which just goes and goes and goes and goes, no matter what's happening. 160, 180, 200. What on earth? I have to say, I've never experienced a car, especially in this segment, which is that fantastic to drive on the Autobahn. If there are any imperfections on the road, the car is not caring about. And still you're driving an S. Of course I'm driving at the moment in comfort mode, and my fuel consumption at the moment is 7.9 liters on 100 kilometers. Remembering we have 435 horsepower, and RS6 definitely wouldn't make that. So good morning ladies and gentlemen from day 2 with the SQ7 TDI. Currently I'm in Ingolstadt, so I drove from Salzburg yesterday to Tegernsee, then from Tegernsee over Munich, now to Ingolstadt. And Ingolstadt has something very special to it. Not only that Audi comes from Ingolstadt and is from Ingolstadt, they do have something like a connection from the cars to the actual traffic lights around the whole city. And I see it in the head-up display that how long will this traffic light will still remain green, and then even how fast should I drive to catch the green light, or how slow should I drive to get it green when I arrive there. So wow, this is the first time ever I've experienced this. Like wow, I'm super surprised. This technology is more than just brilliant, and I hope that this can spread around the whole world, because I'm truly, this is breathtaking. This is truly breathtaking. Then let me tell you the overall fuel consumption. I've driven between 150 kilometers per hour and also 230, and I have an average fuel consumption today of 9.5 liters so far, which is quite good. So all in all, this is just the most chilled car you can drive on. Now I have some business meetings, and then I will catch up again with you guys. Hello again after 766 kilometers with the SQ7 TDI, the second generation of the SQ7, and I have to say this is grown up now. This is mature and it is powerful. 170, 180, 190, and if there wouldn't be traffic, I would definitely have been able to drive 264, which was actually my top speed with this car. So driving that fast with an SUV may sound a little bit, let's say, weird, let's say unsafe. You would think so, but not with the SQ7. I have the suspension when I drive on the Autobahn or on the motorway in comfort, because it is just the best thing ever. Steering is in dynamic, because then I have more feeling of the car, and of course, as you've already heard, the motor, the engine sound actually is in dynamic as well, so the sound generator is actually on. So what do I think now after driving nearly 770 kilometers with this car? As I said, the dynamic features, of course, it can do corners pretty good for what it is. It is a heavy, big, huge SUV. But where it is really at home and where what it is supposed to do is mile hunting. And there I have to say, I've never driven a car in this segment, definitely, that is that comfortable, luxurious, as you can see, but at the same time clean. The interior, the exterior, sporty, and the overall feeling is just hilarious. I now pushed the car pretty hard. So far I drove 80 kilometers today. I'm on the German Autobahn right now. I have an average fuel consumption of today of 11.7 liters, and the long-term memory of this car, which is about 4,000 kilometers, is on exact 12 liters of diesel. So you may think, oh, 12 liters, maybe it's a little bit a lot. Yes, actually, I think long-term memory is also possible way below 10 liters, but you have to get you have to know you have to drive a car in, and then it is getting more efficient, more efficient, more efficient. Diesel, the topic is just for Austria and Germany, where diesel really makes sense, because it is so much cheaper in terms of running costs. At other countries, for example in the US, in Saudi Arabia, and so many other countries, it is the other side around. Petrol there is so unbelievably cheap that it doesn't matter. But here it does matter in Germany, in Austria and other European countries. And this is exactly the reason why I personally, because I live here, say this is the car I would go for if I would have 2 children and I would go on holidays, and the perfect daily driver, and also then for business. This is the perfect all-rounder for me, but I'm considering another car that I'm going to order in January, so stay tuned for that. So please make sure to subscribe on my channel. You would do me a huge favor if you would support me. Let me know what you think about the SQ7, what you think about this video so far, and yeah, check out the other videos on my channel. And I can tell you there is so much more stuff to come this winter, and of course in the next following weeks, months and years. Thank you very much for watching, and bye! I enjoyed it easily.